Hello?
We need to talk.
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 Welcome back to We Need to Talk, episode number 99. I am your host, Mr. KOA, alongside
Boy.
I'm talking very slowly because I couldn't get this intro properly, but we good now. 99 fucking episodes, man. This
Yes, sir.
feels close to another accomplishment we've done. We're at year 4, I believe. This is year 4. Yeah, we started in 2016. So we're 2017.
17, yes.
17.
17.
Rolling into, we're in 2021 now. And man, 99 episodes. So we got the plan for 100 episodes, for our 100th episode. We're going to do a poll this week and determine what is the best platform for the live show. We're thinking Zoom, only because like we're all in COVID, and COVID is just making shit very complicated and just not fun. But, you know, we wanted it to still be interactive. You know, people have suggested, and we both suggested to use Twitch, but we feel like it'd still be too impersonal. It'd just be comments. Like, it'll only see like Instagram Live, and just like, it'll just be us and no one can really interact live as we want it to be. So we're thinking doing a private Zoom link, but we're gonna do a poll just in case to make sure, you know, not everyone has Zoom, everyone's interested in doing a Zoom. But I think that it seems like that might be the best route, just so that you guys can come in, you guys can speak, everyone can kind of hear what's happening, and if they want to come in, we can just pull them in as we normally would, as if on a live show, we just give you guys a mic. You know, give you the opportunity to give you guys the floor.
That's very true.
Everyone can hear your question, and then we can respond in real time. And I think it'll be more intimate, more personal. And I don't think there's a limit on how many people can come in. So, you know, even if we have like 50 people or 30 people in there, I think it'll be a really good experience for even people that don't want to talk. Like, same as a crowd. If you're in the crowd, you don't want to talk, you just listen. Like, you're still there and present in the conversation. So
absolutely.
And you're present in your own home, so it's comfy.
Very true.
So yeah, we'll decide that this week. So look out for the post on our page, and then yeah, it's exciting, man.
I'm excited. Yeah,
it's exciting.
Let's cover some shit from the past week. Funny story. That ball player, DJ Cooper. Did you hear about him?
No, I haven't.
So this basketball player, I don't think he plays in the NBA, but the story is DJ Cooper got suspended after using a female friend's urine for a drug test, and the result came back positive, right? But they got booked because
she's pregnant.
The urine said he's pregnant.
He is pregnant.
So this is my question about this is, she obviously couldn't have been, I'm assuming she couldn't have been far along enough for him to know that she was pregnant.
Yeah, of course not. 3 months, 2 months.
But niggas are stupid. Like, what if he actually thought,
or what if he knew she was pregnant?
Yeah, like what if he knew she was pregnant
piss.
and he's like, it's just pee. Like, they're not gonna be able to tell.
That's honestly very possible.
That's super possible. But even worse, what if she found out that she was pregnant through that?
Oh, that's a doozy. Imagine she finds out because she got booked and she's like, am I?
Like,
what? Like,
that'd be fucked. Like, that's
was the girl his thing? Do you know, or does anyone know?
I have no clue. Is it a friend?
I mean, we have friends. we all have friends.
We all have friends. But imagine. Oh,
wow.
God.
Okay.
Tough situation for the guy. Suspended. Now the whole world knows. You use a pregnant thing's piss.
So is he suspended?
He's suspended, yeah.
Indefinitely, or like?
I don't know about, I actually don't know. But you have to remember, like, this was for drug testing.
Yeah. So they're definitely.
So already it's like, why were you using?
Yeah. They're going to crack down on it for sure. Actually, something I want to talk about as well. Like, and I'm not gonna lie, I do like her, but I'm slowly getting annoyed of her. What are your thoughts on Danny Lee?
I don't really have any. I've never been like a big fan, to be honest with you.
No. Well, do you know what's happening with her and all this nonsense that she's been doing? First,
go on, explain.
So I think it was a month ago, or maybe just over a month ago, she released a song called Yellow Bone. So So colorism is not a new thing. It's been around forever. But the issue that people had with it is that the term yellow bone refers to a light-skinned black person. And there's a problem that, one, there's already been a problem or issue with, women and men thinking that light-skinned people are more attractive or more important or more successful or something because they're lighter skin. And then the other issue is people are saying she's Dominican, she's not black. And she likes to use the word nigga all the time in their songs. And people are like, how is she getting away with this?
I'm confused though. Like, is she, when they say like she's Dominican, not black, like, is she Afro-Dominican or she? So
she made a post, she made a tweet yesterday, day before yesterday, saying that she's 39% West African.
So before you go on, I find it so fucking weird when people throw percentages. That makes me very uncomfortable. Like, just so you know, I'm like 22% Cherokee. I got 39% West African in me. So, I mean, really, I'm black. Like, like what? What are you talking about?
Oh, man.
Go on.
So it's a frenzy right now. There's a frenzy because, one, people are basically saying she's culture appropriating. She's currently dating the baby right now. And obviously the baby is black, but it's the same argument all the time. Like, white people or white passing people using black culture and abusing it and so on and so forth, and just not giving credit where credit's due, and then getting a pass to say certain things. Like, this has been the same argument forever. But my question is, will this change this situation where, especially when it comes to music? Because I feel like this has been a music debate for a long time with who gets a pass to say the word nigga. Like, if nigga's in music, then how do you stop white people from saying it if it's in the music? And then there's situations and cultures where there are white people or non-black people per se in black communities, and because they're in that community, raised in that community, they start speaking how everyone in that community speaks, and everyone kind of just lets them do it.
Yeah.
Is it that big of an issue?
Is what a big of an issue? The
non-black people or white passing people assimilating and appropriating black culture for gain and success in media.
So I think to a certain extent, we all, the problem isn't the assimilation, it's the appropriation, right? Because we all assimilate to some degree. Mm-hmm. Some do it far more than others, obviously. Just speaking on Danny Lay, like, I never really did much research on her. I didn't really know too much about her. I would assume that she was maybe just mixed, like, before I knew anything about this. Right. I guess where it becomes problematic, I mentioned it before, is like throwing out these percentages. Like, it's tough as a black person, a dark-skinned black person, speaking about things that go on in the black community. It's actually not fair. But the reality is, when we deal with like racially ambiguous people in our community, in our, like, collectively in our heads, we already determine whether or not a mixed person is black or they're white.
Right.
We all do that, right? And I know mixed people that do that same thing, right? And it adds to like their, I guess, I don't want to call it an identity crisis, but it like, being a mixed person in a black society is not, it's not great all the time, because you're either not black enough.
Like, what side of the fence you land on?
Yeah, it's like, what side of the fence do you land on? So that's like their own unique experience they have to go through. Mm. I definitely think it's an issue with the appropriation, though, right? Because we all know that black culture pretty much permeates its way throughout everywhere in society, You know, like we've talked about on previous podcasts how like cool is like pretty much synonymous with black, right? So the media and like these labels and these executives, they all want to use black culture to push their artists forward. And then I find it to become an even bigger issue when they're like, okay, now that I got the stardom, I'm gonna like switch it up now. You know what I mean?
Right.
And we see that all the time.
They almost use it to propel themselves, and then I'm here now. I'm
gonna put out certain types of music. I'm gonna appeal a certain type of crowd, and then once I'm on, like I'm on, right? And so that it definitely is problematic, you know. And it's interesting because I remember fucking, she's not mixed at all, but I remember Miley Cyrus when she went through her rebrand after the whole Disney days. Yeah.
And she was rocking Jordan jerseys and all that stuff.
She was definitely using black culture to propel herself. 100. And I think if people, it's so fucked because the culture we live in now is like people are quick to cancel you, and people are quick to like bring up your old shit. It's like, bro, that wasn't that long ago.
No,
that might have been 5-6 years ago.
Maybe more than that.
Maybe a little bit more than that. Like beginning of the 2010s.
Yeah.
Maybe around there. Fine. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'll take that back.
5 years blew by because it was longer than 5 years. And I'm like, fuck, it wasn't even 5 years ago.
It flew by, but it was definitely past 2010.
For sure.
And like you said, she's out here with Jordans on. I think she had a song like "With My J's" or some shit like that. I know
it's some trash ass song, but yeah, I remember twerking.
All of a sudden, Miley's twerking everywhere. Like, excuse me. So where it became problematic was, I think at the time, people might have been like, "Oh, this is different." But I remember a lot of people in our community had an issue when years later she put out some interview where she was basically saying why she's not really into rap music because of how it demeans women and all this type of shit. But then you're like, hold on a second, like
you use this,
like you had an award, you performed on an award show where you just had a whole bunch of black women twerking on stage for you. But now all of a sudden it's like, it's not really my brand, blah blah blah. It's like, what? It's part of your journey, but like don't treat us like we're stupid. You know what I mean? So I definitely think it's problematic. This whole Danny Lay situation is weird to me, that she's because I don't get it. Like, people are saying she's not black, she's Dominican, right? I know plenty of Dominicans that are definitely black, right? But
she doesn't have any black parents, is what they're saying.
That's what they're saying. She doesn't have any black parents. Okay.
But then she came out and said, actually, I'm 39% African, West African. And people are like, fuck out of here.
Okay, like, fuck out of here. So the reason
people don't want to hear it.
The reason I'm going to say fuck out of here that is because, look, I understand if you're like mixed race. The reality is you're going to lean more to one side than the other, even though both components make you who you are. Right? It just depends on where you live, who you hang around, all that shit plays into who you are. But like, if you're mixed, right, you be mixed with anything. From what I've always known, it's kind of like if your dad's black, like black features are going to be way more prominent, right? Yeah. If your mom's black and the other parent isn't, the features are still going to be there, but they're not as dominant, right? You know, I will still look at these people and say, like, dude, you're black in certain cases, right? There's going to be times in life where people are going to look at you and be like, oh, you black, right? So for her to not have any black parents, but then say, I got 39% West African in me, that to me just kind of rubs me the wrong way. Like, I get that you have this history and you probably have it somewhere down the line, but I don't know the percentage, but I know for a fact that I got a big percentage of my family that's Indian. Like, my dad's grandmother. My dad's grandmother was fucking Indian, like full Indian.
So you start doing Bollywood now?
Right? Like,
I could. Like, it's
like, what?
I'm 27% Indian, so I mean,
you know what I mean? Because that's the thing. Like, we're from the West Indies, Jamaica. Like, there's so many Jamaican people who have like black Indians somewhere in their family, right? Because of migration and all that. But are they gonna turn around and be like, yo, I'm like 40% Indian? It's like, no, fuck out of here. Both your parents are black. That's what you are.
Man, like, it's March 2nd today. March 2nd today?
Yeah.
It's March 2nd today. Can March just be a decent month, please? Like, the thing is, we never know how these months are going to end until we're in them. We're like, fuck, that was a fucked up month. So now we're at the second day of the month. I'm just hoping March has some decency in it.
Yeah.
I don't want, like, I know fuck shit's coming. I don't know where it's going to come from.
It's coming.
Like, you know it's coming.
Don't know where.
Don't know where. But it's going to come. Well, there was something else that happened.
I mean, there's a big thing going on with Nike.
What happened with that? The Asian stuff?
No.
Or something else?
I don't know what Asian stuff you're talking about. But
They've been posting about Asian hate and stuff like that.
Oh, well, that I know.
Mhm.
That's been happening a lot recently. But there's so let me tell you about the story, right? The article is called "Who is Joe Herbert?" Nike head Ann Herbert resigns after report exposed his son's sneaker business. So basically, this woman, Ann Herbert, has been working for Nike for literally over 25 years. Right? She was a VP of, I think, operations for Nike North America. So big position she had. And her son, Joe, who's 19 years old, has been running a resale, like sneaker and like clothing streetwear business called
for Nike products.
For everything.
Oh, okay.
Right? Called West Coast Streetwear, some shit like that. Dude was caking, like making crazy money. And basically Bloomberg, if you looked at this guy's Instagram, it's not like a regular reseller where it's just, he just got like a couple 1, 2. This man had to upgrade to a warehouse. And when I say he had like mountains of shoes, I really mean that.
He's getting it from his mom?
So what happened was this. He wasn't getting it directly from his mom. This is what happened. Basically, Bloomberg came out with an article. And it was exposed that because they were looking into the resale business, like no one can get shoes. Like Sneakers app, Nike.com, like it's impossible for people to get shoes. And it's the bots, right? Like people are cheating to get this shit. So they do research into how are these reselling businesses doing what they're doing? They do a deep dive on this guy, Joe Herbert, look into his business. They come to find out that he's been buying a lot of shoes through like a Nike, basically like an employee discounted site.
Okay.
Right. But he was using his mom's
Access.
Amex card to do this.
To get her discount. His website.
And he's been doing it for like years. Right. So obviously his mom had to have known this was happening.
Yeah,
you're not the VP of Nike.
You don't know your charges not going on your card. Like,
right. You don't know this isn't happening. So like it comes to like, and this kid was fucking bait, bro. Like he was out here posting. I want to show you photos because you need to see this. Mm-hmm. He was out here like fully posting images of like his warehouse and everything that it looked like here,
like private kicks and stuff like that.
Look at the this is his warehouse. Look at the kicks.
Just boxes of Boosts and shit.
Boosts, Jordans, Dior Jordans, any Nike you can think. But Ryan, just explain
stocks
explain to the people. It's when I say mountains.
Okay. So this is a very heat page because no one should have this many sneakers in this much.
If you had to ballpark a number for like just that Boost image of all the Yeezy.
He has a picture of Boosts with boxes scattered, and then he has another picture of them lined up.
How much would you guess? Boxes of those.
If I'm just doing a quick numbers guess, this goes from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's about boxes 10 rows high, and about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, about 8 rows deep, and then about 20 rows across. So like, if we're talking numbers, he's almost over 600, over 700 boxes of shoes.
No one should.
Why do you have this? You're not a manufacturer.
Right. How do you have this many?
And those are just Boosts. Like he has other pictures with Nike, with Jordans and Nike. Like, yeah, this is a very
heat page.
Someone looked into this. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, because of course someone looked into this. They're like, how is this 19-year-old kid caking? Like, how does he have all these shoes?
Right.
How?
And
Like,
people will pay whatever for it.
they'll pay whatever. So it's
Right.
obviously making
For
crazy
sure.
money. So long story short, Bloomberg exposes this shit. And like a day later, she voluntarily resigns.
So pulls out of it.
She pulls out. I mean, voluntarily, they had a discussion with her in private.
No, I'm saying she pulls out of the mess for now.
Pulls out for the mess because they're like, hey, like imagine
We're looking into your son and we're looking into you.
Like, let's get this straight, right? Imagine they do it's the equivalent of, a kid, someone is involved in some shady business.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're like, wait a minute. Don't their parents own like the largest drug
Like where
thing,
it makes sense.
Like,
It makes sense.
it makes sense,
Yeah.
right? Like this is exactly it. This kid seems to have like mountains of shoes.
Where is he getting it from?
How is he even getting it? How? That's it. Like how?
Yeah.
Not where. We know you can get it on.
And Nike's like, it's not us.
They're like, what?
Like-
We're not giving him these shoes.
Yeah.
Like they're mountains.
Yeah, that's
you guys
crazy.
gotta look it up, but they're mountains.
So is he being fined or anything? Is anything happening?
I don't
Or
know.
you
I don't know if she's getting fined. I know that because they can't really like fine them. Like what she did, she just lost her job, bro. Like, and this is a problem.
Is he legally accessing these products though?
He's doing it. The rumor is like he's been able to get some of these shoes utilizing he was utilizing his mom's Amex card,
Right.
but the theory is that like
These are all purchased essentially.
I think it talks about it more in depth in the article,
okay.
but they were a lot of the shoes were purchased through that Nike.
But they're all legitimately bought.
They're all legitimately bought.
He's just reselling them stupid.
He's rolling stupid because he's reselling them even more stupid than what people.
Because they're
If I resell, I go to the store, I buy them at retail price,
right.
and then I have to flip them.
Right.
He's not even buying them at retail.
Yeah, he's buying them at discount.
Imagine buying something at 50%,
Right.
and then selling it for 200%.
And there's a shortage of these shoes.
Exactly.
Okay.
There's a shortage. You have 600 of them.
Now he's probably reselling to like all like StockX and all those places.
Absolutely.
Like to the actual places.
Yes, for sure.
Fuck. Speaking of fucking fraudulent behavior, since we're out, you heard about the CRB guys?
CRB.
CERB. Sorry,
Serb? What's
Yeah.
Serb, guys?
you didn't hear about the Serb fraudulent embezzlement?
From who?
The people, the guy who designed
Serb?
he's the Indian man. You didn't hear about this?
No, but go on.
Bro.
No.
You didn't hear about this?
No, go on.
Oh my God. I'm gonna show you. We'll get the article. I'll show it to you after. The man who designed the software for the government for Serb, him and his wife work for the government. The wife is who actually approves who gets Serb. He designed the software. His wife makes the approvals. They both fraudulently took $11 million.
Wait, when did this come out? I think I might have heard about that.
Like a couple months ago.
Yeah. Okay. I think
$11 million. The article said they opened more than 400 different accounts at BMO. 400 accounts at BMO. And then with the accounts, they gave all the people on the accounts fake children so that they not only got the Serb, but they got the children benefit of the Serb for over 400 accounts, amounting to $11 million of fake Serb money that they were getting.
No.
Because you have the guy who designed the program and then the woman who approves. Married. Bro. Like they're under investigation for like ridiculous charges right now.
He deserved that.
And the man had the audacity to say,
No, he did.
I can explain all of this. He said that in the interview.
He said he can explain.
I can explain for $11 million why I needed it.
Listen, Ryan,
This is crazy, man.
If his excuse doesn't start with the fucking mafia were going to kill me, If it doesn't start with they were going to kill my parents, if it doesn't start with anything so wild and extreme, that it had to be from fucking a show, right? It doesn't start with something like that. If he says, listen, I had to do this because they were literally going to kill my entire family if I didn't do this. And then
like someone literally found out who you were, what you do, and said, I need you to do this or I'm killing your family. I know what you do. I know you create CERB's program.
I know you do this.
So this is what I need you to do.
And if you don't do this, we're going to have a...
And this money doesn't even go to you. Yeah. If you're telling me this, you're like, I didn't even get this money. Like I did this.
Yeah.
And these guys literally took it. You can prove it. Like, yo, these fucking guys.
I didn't have any of this money. Like, yeah. If you can prove...
If this shit went to your family...
Oh, it definitely did. It definitely did. Come on. You know that it did.
Some more 400 BMO accounts?
I have so many questions.
I have so many questions. The article said that there's thousands of fake children that they created.
I have questions.
Thousands of fake kids with fake names.
I have questions.
Do you know how fucking meticulous this is?
Coming up with 4,000. Like, Ryan, I have questions.
What?
So, I want to know how they were even able to make this many BMO accounts.
That's what I was wondering.
Like, there's
no way they're not going to the same BMO. That's for sure.
I don't even think there's 400 different BMOs in the same place. Where are you going? Not in the same province.
I don't know. That's honestly a question I had too. I'm like, how?
They have to know 400 different people.
That's not hard.
And being like, hey, I need you to do this. That means everyone gets a cut. There's so many people involved. There have to be. But
the thing is, they're not real people. They're not real. I guess just need you to go in.
We need you to go in and
with
make
this name.
Or they know someone they know a few people at BMO.
Oh, that gets deep.
They got to people at BMO. That's what they did. They said, hey,
that gets deep.
Said,
and
hey,
I'm not against that either.
They probably went to a couple tellers.
Make an account. Just make these accounts.
So like, here, look, this is what we're going to do. You're going to make this account for me and I'm going to slide you $5,000.
That's an easy win. I'm not against that.
11 million? I know I'm going to come out of this with 11 million. I'll slide 200 employees.
Cause I don't know how else you're getting, cause to open an account, you need ID.
Yeah.
Like,
you need ID. So they have to know someone there.
Either 400 fake IDs or someone sliding at BMO.
A bunch of people at BMO are about to lose their job, bro.
Because like how, like
they're about to lose their job. Honestly, BMO's gonna go on. I say they should be on an investigation. I highly doubt they will. But come on, that's insanity.
Do you know how much $11 million is in embezzlement?
Embezzlement, and it's small
increments.
In small $2,000 Hold on. Let's do the math. My math's terrible.
Increments.
I need to see the math on this. So hold on.
I think the max amount people could have got was 24 racks. I think that was the max.
No. Wait, and you mean in the year?
Because they extended it.
Okay.
So I think the max any individual could get was 24 bands.
So hold on. So we got 11 million. So,
but remember, that's individuals.
Yeah. So
then they made these fake kids.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is like 11 million divided by 2,000.
Right.
It's 5,500. That's how many individual $2,000 payments.
Individual 5,000 payments.
They did that 5,500 times. $2,000 was just going out.
And she's approving it.
That's literally insane. But
the wife is approving it. It's just coming from the country.
You know what she's doing? She's probably sitting outside the bank on her laptop, like approved.
Just pull it through.
Just holding down the enter button.
As soon as they make an account, put it through.
She's just doing this. Like,
but the thing is, they don't even have to do that because it's automated. He made the software automated.
That's great.
My question is, how did they end up getting these jobs? And you're not even able to have the same job with the family. Like, you're not allowed to work in the same field as a family member.
Are you?
You're not allowed.
In the government?
Of course not. You can't have how can I have my wife? How did your wife become the person who approves the program payments for the program you created? How did that get through?
Let's read this shit. I just pulled up the
Found
article.
it? Go ahead.
4 family members who worked for the Ontario government in information technology defrauded the province of at least 11 million destined as COVID-19 relief money. A statement of claim alleges. The unproven civil claim on behalf of the province, which also seeks $2 million in punitive damages, accuses them and others of illegally issuing and banking checks under the Support for Families program that aim to defray the cost of children learning at home. So this might not even have been the $2,000 checks. It's like
It's more.
No, like it wasn't. I don't think it was the $2,000 CERB money. I think it was literally just the money that you get for having kids.
Oh, just
which is even crazier because that money was significantly less than right?
It's like
named as a defendant in the Superior Court claim is Sanjay Madan, who had a senior IT role and helped develop the computer application for applying and approving the benefit. The Madan family exploited their positions of employment with Ontario and unique access to the program and payment processing system, the government says. The plaintiff was uniquely vulnerable to Sanjay, particularly with the respect to the integrity of the application. Also named is Madan's wife, Shalani Madan, a senior level IT manager with the ministry responsible for electronically processing program payments.
Bro.
So the man designed it and she designed the other program that said, hey, approved. Approved the client, approved.
Put it through.
That's nuts. That's insane. According to the lawsuit, Sanjay Madan and his family opened more than 400 accounts at the Bank of Montreal between April and May. That's in a month.
Bro.
400 in the span of a month? They didn't even spread it out?
What are you guys on?
Yo, they're on crack. They then deposited around 10,000 checks made out to fictitious applicants with thousands of non-existent children under the support program. Thousands. Most deposits were made over a 4-week period starting on May 25th, coinciding with a rule change that allowed more than 5 payments to be made to an applicant. The government alleges Sanjay Madan...
He made the rule.
Yeah, the government alleges Sanjay Madan either sparked... It's crazy.
He made the rule to allow more payments.
He made the rule change. The government alleges Sanjay Madan either sparked the rule change or knew about it and took advantage. So either he made it or overheard this rule was going to happen. He's like, yo, we're going to the bank.
Pull these through.
We're going to the bank. He would have been very familiar with the program, the computer program application, and with any vulnerabilities, it may have had fraud or misuse. So basically, this guy said he knew all our weaknesses.
Bro,
right?
He's inside.
He knew our weaknesses because he made it. He made it. Like, he purposely made the program with flaws that he could exploit. That he could exploit.
Yo.
The claim also says that Sanjay and Chinmaya Madan wiped their government-issued phones to hide their misdoing. Christopher DeVernette, the family's lawyer, said he could not discuss the claim. Of course, as I'm sure you can appreciate, this is a very difficult time. Shut up. Shut up. It's a difficult time. Fuck out of here. Moreover, the matter is currently before the courts. Given these circumstances, I'm instructed to advise that any comments our clients make will be in material field with the courts and only there. However, in other court filings, Sanjay is said to have told the government that he could explain all of this and that he has helped many families. Other defendants include their son Chinmaya Madan, a technical product manager who resigned in July, and his brother Ujjwal, a programmer analyst who worked indirectly under his father. He resigned in August.
Yeah, these mans are nasty.
Ontario intends to seize money obtained fraudulently. The government also served notice and intends to seize any money the family obtained fraudulently. Can you imagine getting that letter from the government?
What, that we caught you?
The letter is saying we intend to get back the $11 million.
You think you're slick?
No, and they're sitting there like, yo, we already spent some of this money. Like,
money's gone.
It's gone. What do you want us to do?
Hey,
crazy.
And jail.
It obtained a court order to have their bank accounts turned over to the court pending the outcome of the lawsuit. That's a scary feeling, bro. That's a scary feeling. This. I know they did. They obviously deserve this to happen, but it's a scary feeling to know that, like, depending on how this shit goes in court, your bank accounts are like no longer yours.
Frozen. Gone.
Not just frozen.
Taken. Sorry.
It's like imagine like a bully taking a kid by the ankles and just shaking all the money.
You got.
Give me all you got. That's what they're doing. To prevent the respondents from hiding any money, the government obtained a court order freezing the family's assets, which include a list of properties in Toronto. The government says in one document that Sanjay maintains the program payments were directed to him by tenants for rent. It is reasonable to believe that Sanjay's alleged tenants are not the parents to over 10,000 children. Obviously. 10,000?
Come on.
10,000 fictitious children. That's an insane number. So we had it all wrong before it. It had nothing to do with like the $2,000 serve checks.
He's using the child benefit.
It was the child benefit, which was significantly less than 2,000, but 10,000 kids?
Oh my God.
That's crazy. The Attorney General submits that the cash in the bank accounts and safety deposit boxes is likely proceeds of unlawful activity. The freeze order was subsequently varied to allow some payout of money from an earlier Madame property sale, but the family will have to return to court to have other funds for living expenses and legal bills released. Other defendants in the suit filed in the court's commercial list division are several companies, and they name a bunch. Wow. That is insane.
Bro, we need to get outside. COVID's driving people nuts.
That is fucking insane, bro.
And the thing is, what's crazy is that him and his wife realized this is the situation they're in. They said, this is our chance. Because to get that type of high level role, they've probably been honest for their whole career. We're hoping. But yeah, I mean, like, there was no such thing as CERB. It didn't exist. There's no way for automated money to be sent to people around the fucking country at such a mass rate ever before.
But this is this is greed on another level, because hearing the positions they have, like, I'm not saying they were caking, but they were definitely making money.
Career's already good. Those careers are good money already.
Those careers are good money. Course. Your family's, you're doing okay. So now you're greedy and say, oh, this is our opportunity. It's not even like they said, like, it would have been bad no matter how much money they took. If they took $100,000, it's still bad. Right. But 11 million.
You're going for the big cheese. Like,
you're not even seasoned convict. You know what I mean? Like, they're new to this.
Clearly.
Maybe they're new to this.
Maybe
they've done this before and they haven't got caught. But bro, how do you decide? Like, okay, if you do anything bad, how do you decide
how big you're going?
Exactly. Like, most people, when they do bad things, they usually start off small to begin with. No one just goes for broke right away.
Take a little bit, see if anyone catches on. Wait a couple months, let it just chill out, like,
and then keep doing it. But these guys said, you know what?
You fit 11 mil into a few months.
It wasn't a few months. It was 1 month. They opened 400 accounts from April to May. That is insane.
And you thought no one's going to see this?
That's crazy.
They're not going to find out. Don't worry, babe. Don't worry.
No one's going to see $11 million just fly like this.
Well, the thing is, you know what, though? I do get what their brain was thinking, because I get part of their brain. Because no, they won't see 11 million fly this, because they spent way more than 11 million across Canada during that time. Like, Canada was spending hundreds of $1 million to pay for a serve for all these different Canadians applying. Yeah. So no, they won't necessarily know this 11 million split out between all these people.
That's true.
That is true.
That's true.
But over time, they did say they're going to verify these payments. Like, everyone got verified.
Yeah, good point.
Like, they said they're going to send all the payments out and then verify later, because they didn't have the time to send and verify while everyone was going through that shit. Yeah. But you didn't think anyone was going to try and double down on these fake random names that you made for all these people at any point? Like, bruh. I mean, I wish I was part of that family. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't, bro.
No, like when they're chilling.
But that's what I'm saying. That time that they were chilling, and then very quickly, life just came for them real quick. Real quick. Oh my God, that's insane, bro. We'll get to these questions because there's one topic I want to talk about after.
Yeah.
I was talking to my homegirls this weekend about it. But the question for the week was, what is something you know was a bad idea, but did it anyway for love? All right. Clearly triggered some people.
Man.
I'll read some of the comments. We got Kiki. She said, I responded. I answered my phone. I gave him my number in capitals. Yeah, all bad decisions. I'm playing, but I knew spending the holidays at his house wasn't a good idea, but I did it anyway. It's very personal. You know, this sounds also very recent.
I wonder what happened.
Let's just say anxiety in a Caribbean household isn't a good mix. That's very true. That's very true. Next up, Tennis Club, he said, years of free work. That's almost like simping, no? Years of free work for love.
He was giving someone free work for love? Come on, bro.
Shayna, she said, the way I cringed at flashbacks, y'all chose violence with this question. Next time, answer the question, Shayna. Let us know.
She didn't answer?
No, she just chose to let us know. She was triggered by it.
Cop out.
Who we got? Katarina, she said, paying bills. Sydney.
Paying a man's bills, huh?
Sydney, she said, ignored their red flags for love. A lot of people do that. Shay, she said, gave him money. He was way too comfortable being broke because I was so giving. Dangerous. Very dangerous. And last one, we got Catherine. She said, wow, this post is triggering, even though it's a simple question. Clearly, a lot of you have been in
doing some bad ideas.
So like, I'm trying to think, like, what's something I knew was a bad idea? Like something dumb that I did for love.
Knowing I probably shouldn't do this, but oh well. And then after you're like, fuck, I knew I should have done this. You welled it. Knowing damn well it'd probably cause a problem later for you. But you're like, fuck it. Fuck it.
Honestly, I would say like I dated someone who had such a problem. Like they had such a problem with me liking other girls' photos on Instagram that were like even my friends, that I stopped doing that for them.
And you knew it would cause a problem for you.
Yeah, because I was like, I don't want this to be a big thing, so I'm gonna stop doing that.
I'm gonna stop liking photos.
I'm gonna stop utilizing the function of the app.
So like, would you scroll Instagram and just like not use your thumb?
Pretty much.
Like you just be like,
I'll be like this.
Would you like it in your head?
Absolutely.
You started to like stuff in your head?
Yeah, but it wasn't even like, I'm not talking just like promiscuous photos or any of that bullshit.
Yeah, just anything.
Like anything. I wouldn't like any girl's photos. Didn't matter any.
But like, would you catch yourself like about to and then be like, oh yes. Yeah, I can't?
Yes.
Was it fear?
Definitely. It had to have been fear. It had to have been.
Like you could see the fight that would come from it.
Absolutely, bro. Like most of the time we do.
This is back when like Instagram had like the following page, right?
Dog.
Where you could see people's stuff.
And you could get paged on what you were liking. I'll never forget.
I'm so glad that page is gone.
Yo, bro. I'll never forget. I was in an argument with this girl, right? And you know, she was cheesed that like, she's like, I don't want you liking any of these photos. It's not even like I was liking bad things or anything like that. I was just liking photos of any girl, my friends included. She was so heated about this. And like, even talking about it now, you realize how dumb this fucking sounds.
Silly.
But and it speaks to how much younger we were. But
of course.
She's going off about it, right? And I was like, I did a classic, yo, like, one of my friends has been in a relationship for like way, way longer than we have. He does this.
Oh, you started comparing, right?
Yeah,
like,
I'm like,
she lets him do it.
Yeah, he's like, this is not an issue. And you know what she said to me? She's like, listen, I see what he likes on that following page. and she's like, it's pure smut. Like, and I was just like, oh my God, bro.
She tracks him?
She tracks everyone. And I was like, fuck.
I see what he likes.
I know what he likes. I'm like, wow.
That page is dangerous because you honestly could see everyone's behavior.
Isn't that insane?
You could see everyone's behavior.
See, and this is like, and this is the thing, like, I wish Twitter didn't do it, but Twitter will show you on your timeline, like liked by so-and-so.
Even if you're not following them. Yeah.
I might not be following someone, but if enough people that I follow like it, it's going to show
They'll
me.
say Zamora like this tweet.
Right? So it's like, even that.
It's like, why are you doing this?
Even that sometimes can be a little fucking bait.
Like, oh, that's what you like?
But fucking Instagram?
Where it's strictly just content.
It's like, okay.
Photos, video.
I don't like.
Zamora like this ass video. And it shows the video. You can click on it and view it for yourself.
I can click to it and be like, oh,
this is what it was?
What do you like?
Huh. What time? 3 minutes ago. So in bed with me. So
Wally's in bed with me.
He's right here.
He's doing this.
That's why he's turned over. Back to back and he's like an ass. In bed.
Different time, people. Different time.
For me, man, I've done a lot of shit that I fucking knew was a bad idea. Most memorable, I would say, is flying a particular person to LA and paying for everything.
Okay.
I knew that was a bad idea. I knew it was a very bad idea. When?
At what point did you know? There's always a turning point. It's either because there's always a turning point. It was either before the trip even happened, which I don't think it was, because you love the person.
Yeah,
like,
I fucked it. I fucked it before the trip. I was like, fuck it. You can't afford it. All good. Fuck it.
I want you to come.
No, I can't afford it. No, fuck it. Let's go.
But there's definitely a point on the trip
where you're like,
oh,
fuck this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we just to put in perspective, pay for both our flights, got us to LA. Pay for Airbnb for about 4 or 5 days. Paid for the Uber from the airport to the Airbnb.
Which is, I know, is mad expensive.
Mad expensive.
Because LA is big.
Mad expensive. Pay from the Uber after you got dressed and freshened up, from the Uber to downtown LA to just explore. Pay for lunch in downtown LA. Pay for our drinks. Ended up going from downtown LA to Venice. Pay for that Uber. And that really replicated itself for the next 4 days. Just think about those type of costs.
Think about that times 4.
Dinner, breakfast, lunch, snack, whatever. Then we got into a fight over, I don't even remember. And honestly, it could have been Instagram. I don't remember, but it could have been something really stupid. And we got into a fight in the Airbnb. And I honestly, part of me said, you don't get to fight. You don't get to fight over this right now. Like, I honestly felt, I'm like, you honestly don't get to fight with me about this. I don't even know. It was the smallest, stupidest thing. And I'm like, it sounds like I didn't want to throw it in their face. I obviously didn't say this either. But in my mind, I'm like, do you know how much I've spent on this trip? And you were fighting with me in LA about something on Instagram?
Yeah, completely irrelevant.
We're in Los Angeles. We're here. City of Angels. And we're fighting about an app right now when outside is fucking sunny and palm trees and a beach. And we're in a fucking Airbnb fighting about this. I was so mad. So then that's where it turned, because we went to dinner that night and I was over it.
Yeah.
I was like, I convinced myself that I'm not going to pay for anything else for the rest of the trip. I just convinced myself. I'm like, we get to dinner and I'm like, oh, you can afford your dinner, right? And she's like, yeah. Oh, okay, cool. Because she wasn't talking. She's being super moody. Wasn't talking to me, nothing. So I was like, there's no way I'm gonna bring you to this dinner. You're gonna not talk to me, ignore me, and then the waiter's gonna come here and I'm gonna pay. That's not gonna happen. Like, I'm like, if you want to have a conversation, let's be mature and let's talk about this, fine. But you're not gonna ignore me this whole dinner. Order what the fuck you want, and then the waiter comes to me and I pay for this. That was not gonna sit with me. So she's ignoring me the whole time. I'm like, okay, cool. Even the waitress came and she could like, the waitress sees like a couple's arguing.
Absolutely.
They just see the vibe. They're like, I'll
be back.
Do you guys want to drink or anything? We're just like, yeah, we're fine. And she's like, okay. Like, super awkward, right? We get the food, eating in silence she's looking off, eating, not talking to me. We're on Rodeo Drive at Cheesecake Factory. So like cars are going by. I'm just like, all right, we're not going to talk. All right, cool. Bill comes at the end of the night. I'm like, you can afford your meal, right? She's like, yeah, I'm fine. I'm like, okay. We'll do separate. So they separated. And then that literally was like the turning point of the trip. I sent her back to the Airbnb in the Uber, and I stayed on Rodeo and just kind of got some air. And that the rest of the trip just turned to shit after that. I couldn't wait to come home.
So
flight home was already paid for, so like it was just like we just had to wait till the flight was the next day for the flight. So I'm just like, we just have to get home. I'm ready to go home. Like,
see, and like this is the thing. I know for a fact there's probably people thinking, well, like you pay for it.
You should have done it.
This is right. This is the thing.
You're right. And now
sure. Now you know.
Like,
but the thing is, I think it's just basic decency. Mm-hmm. Maybe that's the word. Like I want to be careful. No, I don't want to like attack someone's character or anything.
I know what you mean.
But it's like, I get it. Like, not okay. If I want you to come, I know from past experience, if I want you to come on a trip and you're a little hesitant because maybe you can't afford it or whatever, I'll pay for it because I want you there, mm-hmm. right? But if you have no intentions of like paying for anything, not even water. Maybe have that conversation with me beforehand, because even if I'm paying for you, like paying for the flight, right, paying for the Airbnb,
you're still like, there's part of you that like,
in my head I'm thinking, all right, maybe she'll at least pay for like a couple meals every now and then.
I'm not thinking you came here with no money.
That's really it. Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't expect my partner to come with me anywhere with zero money.
No,
zero money.
No.
But if I know, even if, let's say the rules, if I just know that someone is paying, I've been places where like I go on a trip, someone hosts me, mm-hmm. right? And they like, I got this. It's like, no problem. At the bare minimum, I'll be like, let me get something. Let me get dinner. Like, let me do this. Like, I let me
get the Uber.
Something.
Bro, so it's like, part of me was like, I deserved it. Because I'm like, well, maybe you weren't super clear. Because like when they said they couldn't afford it, you said, I got it. No worries. Which I did say. Yeah. So I'm like, but my version of I got it was like, I'll take care of big things. The trip, the flight. You went to Universal Studios. That was like $350 US for both of us. Like it was an expensive trip. You know what I mean? I'm like, I'll take care of the big stuff. Like a little $8 Uber, a fucking $9 fucking slushy. Like, that too? It's like we're gonna pick that up and you're just gonna look at me? Like Uber comes, is like, you're not gonna at least be like, let me get this fucking Uber down the road? No, my card. I was like, part of me was like, I just saw my fucking account just going down in 3 days.
Like depleting.
And I'm like, what am I doing? Like, but it was actually a moment that I was like, what are you doing?
Why am I doing this?
Why are you doing this?
Like, why?
When you like, I'm not doing this for pussy, because like it's already my girl.
Yeah.
So it's like,
I'm not doing this.
What am I doing this for? Like,
and like that's a good observation, because
not like you're doing it to try and wow a girl.
Yeah.
And like, it's a girl you never met before, and you're like, I just want to kind of show her up and like make her feel good. Like,
I want to have a good time with my partner, but like,
at what cost? At this?
I want to feel good too.
Right. You know? I started like really resenting what I was doing. I'm like, what? I saw my account just going down. I'm like, why am I doing this? What is this doing? To get a thanks, this was fun.
All right, bro.
That's just fuck all for me. Now I have to come home and work my way up to fucking get my money back.
I gotta work to the bone to recoup.
Like, I
recoup my losses.
It honestly just felt like I just lost at the casino. That's what it felt like when I got home.
Yeah,
I just played money at the casino and just lost. You came home with nothing. You got time. You had fun doing it. It was definitely fun while you're playing, but you came home down 3 racks, almost 4 bands. Why? Well, for what? For an LA trip?
Yeah, like, yo, this is
LA trip.
It's so weird.
And it's only that because it would have been half of that for just myself.
Yeah.
right?
It's so weird because, you know, I have to be like really careful with my thought process and like words on this, but you know, if the roles were reversed and a woman is doing this for me, like my partner, not just any woman, my partner,
just a regular person,
my partner is doing this for me, right? Like she's like, I'll take you here, blah blah blah, which like realistic, if I'm being completely honest, would probably like never happen. Well, let's just say,
unless you're sugared.
Yeah, unless I'm sugared. Like, let's say that it did. I can honestly say in my head right now, my line of thinking is, you better believe I'm not gonna give this girl any problems on this trip,
bro.
And I like,
do you know where I'm like, you know where I'm coming from,
and I want to be like careful because it's not like I'm saying
you're not allowed to talk about anything,
of
or
course, feel whatever way, but it's like, dude, like there's a part of me inside that says, fuck, like this person's paying for everything. They wanted me to come on this trip, and I accepted coming on this trip, right? Because
can I at least make this smooth for us?
Yeah, like let me figure out ways to make it smooth. Like not talking about like physical bullshit. No. I'm talking about like just like genuine things, you know? So that's how I look at it.
Are you gonna argue about something petty? Are you gonna bring up some nonsense?
You know, because like, realistically, we've talked about like maturity before, and it's like, I can say this now. Like if I was in that position as the person who couldn't afford to go, and my partner's like, hey, I want to take you, blah, blah, blah. And I know that I'm going to have a problem spending any money on this trip. I would just have that conversation before we even go. I'd be like, listen, like, I really want to go. I would love to go, but I don't know if I can actually like spend any money while I'm out there. Right? I don't know if I can.
Like even a cent.
Yeah. It's like, I don't know if I can because I'm either trying to say something. I don't feel comfortable, like blah, blah, blah. I'm going to have that conversation before we go.
Right.
And then I'll know at that point, it's up to that person to decide, that's fine. I'll still take you or whatever. Like we'll figure it out another time.
So is it my fault then? In the sense of like, because
I don't want to say
the person did say, I can't afford the trip right now. And I said, you know what? I know you can't. It's okay.
No,
I'll
but
take care of it. Should I have literally been like, what can you afford? Like,
yeah. I think like this is the thing. It falls
if I pay for this, like, are you able to like pay for an Uber at least? Like,
it falls
really discuss the trip like that.
It falls on both ends of it, both sides. Like both sides, I think didn't realize, because this is a problem when you're in love with someone and you've been dating them. You just do things. You just do things. Plenty of times, like I'm with my ex, we just go to a restaurant. I pay a bunch of times, and she pays a bunch of times, and it's just like this unwritten thing. We're not tracking anything, right? And it was cool. But you know, like there's times where, for example, right? Like you're in a relationship, you drive your partner everywhere. I don't know about you, but a lot of the girls that I've dated, none of them drove. Like none of them had a license or anything like that. So I drove a lot of them everywhere, right? And for me, it's like, you know.
Could you do that again, by the way?
Yes and no. We can dive into that after. Okay. But it's like, for me, it's nice to know that I don't have a problem driving you anywhere. I actually don't. You're my partner. I don't give a fuck about that. But it's nice when like the partner gives you fucking gas money randomly.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Because they appreciate it.
It's appreciated, right? Like and it's like you paying for gas that one time obviously doesn't account for all the other times they've driven you anywhere, but it still shows me like, oh, okay, like you actually are appreciative. Cool. Like you, on top of you saying thank you when you do, it's like, oh, awesome. Like, thanks. Like you gave me gas money. Sick. So I would probably have that conversation moving forward, but it's also on the other person as well. So that's why it says on both sides. That person should have known like, hey, I'm a little comfortable going on this trip because of money purposes. I may or may not be able to do this. Like I can pay for the gas while we're out there, and I can pay for some of the meals. But I can't do the big purchases like the flight and the fucking Airbnb. Those things I can't do.
Like if she actually said, I can't pay a cent. In fact, I don't want to bring my wallet. I would just be like, no, never mind.
Right, like
I would actually say no.
Okay. Yeah, it would change your mind because it can go either one of two ways. Like you can just be like, all right, let's just do something else then.
Exactly.
If we'll just do something else, you know,
it wouldn't be LA.
It wouldn't be LA. We'll go do something else. That'd be fine. But it's like it's on both sides. You get what I'm saying? That person's got to have that conversation, and then also now that you've been through the situation, now you know that you can say, all right, like,
these are the things I need to know.
Like, if we're gonna go on this trip, I'm saying I'll pay for flight, pay for the Airbnb. Like, what can you afford?
Right.
At the time, we don't ask those questions because we're just like, fuck it, it's my partner.
Let's just go.
I want to come. You're not really thinking too hard about it. But moving forward, it's like now we don't want to put anyone in these weird positions.
No,
that's pretty much it.
Love is dangerous.
It is. So there's something I wanted to talk to you about. I was talking to my 2 homegirls on the weekend, and basically the topic came up talking about women who are very direct, right? Like whether it's with what they want in terms of like sexually, or just very direct with their feelings. But in this case, we're talking about sexually, right? They're leading with something along the lines of like, when are we gonna hook up? Or like, I want to have sex with you, blah blah. So in the conversation, I was basically saying that as a guy, whether or not I'm going to immediately have sex with you when you reach out to me that way, I actually like the approach. And the only reason I like it is because it's different. Like, the majority of the time is us having to do the chasing. Doing the courting. Now, is this courting in the traditional sense? No. Because even when I court women or try to, I'm not, first off, like I said it before, I don't really slide into DMs like that, right? But if I was to slide into DMs, I'm not leading it with, like, when are we gonna...
you're trying to be nice.
I'm trying to be nice, trying to go from there. And like, women do that too.
Of course.
The thing is, guys who lead with sex first, they all get a bad rap, right?
Right. When even if that may be what the person wants.
Exactly.
They just don't want to be approached that way.
Exactly. When girls do it, the argument was like, well, girls have to be really careful about how they go about courting, because if essentially when it comes to dating, if a girl gives it up, if a girl has sex like on the first date or like relatively soon, then, the thinking is this girl's too easy, right? Like, she gave it up too quickly. If they say no, then you have guys who call this girl like a bitch or whatever for like not wanting to sleep with them or not even wanting to go on a date with them, kind of thing. And I was like, look, I get that based on society, and there's been plenty of guys who do that to women. But I was just trying to say that it was like weird for me, because if a girl reaches out to me in a very direct manner, like super direct, leading with sex, it might not make me want to have sex with them off rip, in the sense that it's like, they DM me, hey, what are you doing tonight? You want to smash? It may or may not make me want to hook up with them tonight, but what it definitely does is let me know where they stand. But I don't look at them negatively. That's the thing. I don't look at them negatively. And they were trying to say that like I am an anomaly for that. And I was like, okay.
Oh, okay.
I understand, like, based on men that you're used to.
Yeah.
I get what you're like. I get what they're saying. But I was just trying to say that I think there's actually a lot more men out there than they give credit for that don't look at women negatively, who approach them the same way that like men would. Does that make? Am I like off?
No. I completely agree, and I'll say it from this perspective as well. Like, when women approach me on that type of energy and like directness, it cuts all the bullshit. Like, and not saying that like being nice is bullshit and asking people their day and sure, but if you want to have sex with somebody and I want to have sex with somebody and we both know that we want to do this, can we not pretend like the conversation leading up to finally talking about sex is all just fake talk? Like, neither of us care about that. If you actually ask me if I remember the stuff we were talking about before we got to have sex, I probably don't. Yeah. Like, we did it because that's what everyone has to do. And that's what people normally do. Talk about what you do, what you're up to, all this other stuff. But if at the end of the day we both know, like, I just want to fuck this guy, I just want to fuck this girl.
Yeah.
We both know this conversation is just so it's not awkward to get to the sex talk. But it's only awkward because it's taboo. It's not awkward because it's actually awkward for me.
Yeah.
And it might not be awkward for you, but you're like, I don't know his pulse. So let me just ask him about his work, ask him about some other stuff. So like, I just want to ask him if we can fuck. But I don't know his pulse, so I don't want to come off in a weird way. So let me warm him up to it. And then I'm like, I don't know her pulse, so I don't want to just do that. So let me be like, oh, like, what do you do? But both of us know, like, this is the end goal we're trying to get to, at least for the situation right now.
Okay. So let me provide you with a different scenario then, right? So I'm going to show you something, you'll read it, and you'll tell me like what you think. In this scenario, like, both people know of each other. They don't
know each other.
Like they know each other, they've seen each other in person.
Okay.
Parties, whatever. The thing is like,
but not spoken?
There's never been a conversation that's let one of the people know.
What's good?
Like, oh, you want to have sex with this with me? You get what I'm saying? Like, just use me in this example.
I've just seen you. You've seen me. I've seen you.
I've seen you.
But we never spoken.
Interacted on social media. Like in real life.
Okay.
We seen each other like every now and then, but it's nothing like.
Never went that direction.
Never went that direction.
Okay.
Right. So read this. Read that DM. Right. Don't read it out loud,
okay.
But read it. Okay. So let me tell you something. When I read that DM,
okay,
the way I took it, I thought, even though it was super direct, I thought it was more funny than anything. Like the line itself.
Got you. Because women don't know how to flirt.
Well, even if we don't want to call it, she doesn't know how to flirt. I thought the line itself was very direct. Mm-hmm. It makes sense what they're trying to say.
Right.
But it's also kind of funny because, like, who talks like that? You get what I'm saying? Like, it's the.
So just share it.
No, I'm not sharing. I don't want to put it. I'm not putting anyone on blast. But
it could be anything.
No, I'm not. But but you get what I'm saying.
Sure.
Though, right? So when I shared that with my these two female friends of mine, they were like, never in my life would that sentence ever come out of my mouth to a man.
That's them though.
And I'm like, that's you guys. Like, that's you guys.
Yeah.
Right?
That's them.
And then it turned into this whole thing about like, if I was from their perspective, I'm talking from their perspective. If I was to approach a man like that, like all the time, I'm likely going to attract the wrong type of guys.
That's what they said.
Yeah. And my brain just kept getting hung up because I'm like, first off, we're talking about my experiences here. Like, it doesn't make sense.
Right.
Like, I'm showing you something, it doesn't make sense to me. Secondly, where it threw me off, because they said, if I approach men like this on the regular, I would attract the wrong type of guy. And I'm like,
so are you the wrong type of guy?
Yo, in the text message, I literally said, am I the wrong type of guy?
It got me.
And they're like, well, it didn't get me, but you get what I'm saying.
I'm not turned off by it.
Right. But then I was like, also, I said, am I the wrong type of guy then? And then they're like, no, you're like an anomaly. So I'm like, so what are you saying? No. So then this is my argument. These girls are the ones doing the approach.
Right.
Right. Therefore, you're not attracting the wrong type of guy.
You're going for the guy you want.
You're going for the guy that you want. That is what it is. You're going for the guy that you want. Unless, and then so then it turned into like,
you're not attracting. Attracting means they're coming to you.
They're coming to you.
But you're saying the statement.
You're saying
I am saying I want to do this.
That's where I got hung up on, because where I did agree with them was that the reality is
they'll get the wrong message they're saying potentially.
Because the reality is this: like, as a woman in today's society, if you project a certain image on social media, like, let's just say like a thoughty image, right? You're going to attract a very particular type of guy. Yeah,
but now that's on the defensive.
Exactly.
Now you're putting out something to be caught.
Exactly. I'm putting something out there
to be caught.
And then now certain guys are going to come to me. And the same applies in reverse. If tomorrow I start posting thirst traps, at some point I'm going to attract certain
type of audience.
Right. the problem is there's a double standard in society. When women do it, they're viewed as like quote unquote sluts. They're all the negative words you could think.
Right.
With men, it's not the same. I agree with that. That makes sense to me.
Yeah.
But what I was saying was just like,
We were talking about approach and communication.
Yeah, like I was just saying that like me and my group of friends, I know we're not
special.
I know we're not special in thinking that if a girl approaches a guy like this, I'm like, all of a sudden we look at her negatively.
No.
Right?
To give you some context as well, like I feel like to me, I view a woman like that as mature. I view a woman that's willing to be like, hey,
like also mature in her own way.
Yes.
Because the other girls, they're not, it's not that they're not mature.
I'm not calling them, women that don't approach that directly, I'm not calling them immature. But I definitely view women that are capable of doing that as a form of maturity for them.
Yeah.
Where they're like, yo, I saw you at this event. It's like, oh, cool. What's up? Yeah. Would you be down to fuck? Whoa. Yeah. I saw you too. Yeah. Honestly, I saw you. I saw your face. I just want to fuck. Would you be down? Yes. Yes, I would be. Like, or no, I wouldn't be. Like,
yeah.
But because you asked, I'm not like, ew, ugh. I'm like, I'm answering your question as directly as possible. Like, we let's not pretend this is not the end goal for us.
Yeah, and it's but what was just driving me so fucking nuts during this whole conversation? Like, I love these two women, right? They're like two of my best friends. But I was like, I know that I'm different than a lot of men, right? But what I'm talking about right now, I know
it's not a phenomenon.
It's not a phenomenon. Like, I know for a fact that like so many men would not look at a girl sliding into the DMs leading with sex and look at her negatively. What will happen is the first thing the man will think is
smile.
Yeah, he'll probably smile. He'll be like, yo, what? Like, what's happening?
Is she serious? She's like, fucking with me.
Yeah, she's fucking with me and she's serious. But then he's going to go, okay, now I know where she stands. Let's go from
where do I stand?
Yeah, let's go from it. The ball's in my court for once. Fine, like we'll go from there. You know,
and you know why guys like this shit? Because now I don't have to fucking prove anything. If we're being honest, the majority of men that court women, that slide in DMs, that pick up girls, all the fucking initiative steps that men do, is literally to prove to women that they're worth it, or that they're attractive, or that they could be interested in me. And it's with a lack of a guarantee. It's with I'm gonna put this out there. Hey, I'm Ryan. Hey, I'm Zamora. This is what I do. What are you up to? Blah, blah, blah. Hoping that you catch and go, okay, cool. I can do more of this talking. Let's see where this goes. And then we literally leave it to you to be like, will I fuck him? I don't know. A couple more days. Well, even if you do want to, you'll still, let me just see. And we know that you're doing this fucking game with us, and we like you enough, we'll keep playing it. Yeah. And then eventually we may have sex, and we're like, cool. And then later on, you probably tell us, I wanted to sex the first time I saw you, but like that always come out. The first time I saw you, I wanted to have sex with you, but like I just want to, like, cool, no problem. I already knew that, but I can't. You didn't tell me, so I have to guess now. I felt it, but I didn't know, so I had to like do this charade. Now, when a woman tells you off rip, I want to fuck you, not that we slack and now we don't give a fuck about ourselves. No, but I no longer have to worry about if you like me.
Like me enough to fuck me.
I don't have to. Now I can just talk to you. Like, now I can just talk to you. I know you want to fuck me. Cool. Now we can just, until that happens, now I can just talk to you.
Because isn't this the thing?
Because before I'm on eggshells, like,
on some bullshit fucking archaic primal level.
Yeah.
We know that, like, if I want, I have to like you on some, you and I have to like each other on some degree in order to fuck.
Right.
Right? Not love.
No.
We just have to like each other on some degree.
Interest.
It's gotta be that. You know, like people definitely can fuck someone and hate them, right?
For
Like
sure.
that for sure can
But there's
happen.
interest in something.
There's got to be interest. There's got to be some sort of like connection there. So if I know, as a man, I know already. I know so early whether or not I would sleep with you or not.
Yep.
Because it just comes down to attraction.
Yep.
And it's the same thing with women.
Yep.
Women feel the exact same way. This isn't exclusive to men. Therefore, if you look at me and you think I'm attractive enough to fuck,
we're past that barrier. Thank you.
Cool. Let's continue with
let's keep talking. Doesn't mean
let's talk.
Doesn't mean I'm trashing you, throwing you away now. Now I'm like, cool. Thank you for letting me know.
Let's talk.
We'll get there, but let's talk now.
Let's talk now.
On a comfortable playing field. Because otherwise the playing field is me trying to impress you.
Trying to gauge whether or not you will let me like have coitus with you. You know what I mean?
And it's
like,
literally just it's unknown for so long. You're literally throwing words into an unknown black hole. Just guessing.
And hopefully one of these words, they go into a black hole and then it goes into two channels. And it's like one channel is like, he's saying the right thing.
Right.
And another is, this nigga is stupid. You know what I mean? It's like,
or he's saying the right things, but I know he's just trying to fuck.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
But it's like, but that also becomes a negative.
It can be.
Because it's like they'll even say, yeah, I like what you're saying, but I know he's only saying it to fuck.
Absolutely.
It's like, oh,
absolutely. So this is why, like, so this is why, like, you know, because this was the other thing. Right? I forgot to mention this. One of my friends was saying that it's also unlikely that a man would end up dating a girl.
That'd be fucked.
No, like that. So a girl that like approaches you with such a direct manner.
The women said this?
Yes. She said to me
highly unlikely
that it's unlikely that a guy would end up dating a woman like that because now he's going to think, oh, like she's so direct. She must be doing this often. Like first time with a lot of guys. Like
it's completely irrelevant. It's irrelevant.
No,
that's irrelevant because if you're doing that to me, then I know you like me. I don't care if you're doing that. Do it to other guys. Cool.
I don't care. Like I don't care. Yo, oh my god. Like
do it to other guys.
Like this is the thing. It's not.
I don't now think because you did it to me, you're gonna do it to other guys while you're with me.
Not even with you. The idea is like I do understand to a certain degree where that line of thinking comes from. It's like, oh, because guys do it all the time, because guys are sliding into girls' DMs all the time, right. They're going to start, some woman will think, if he's doing this to me, just approaching me on this fucking brash manner, he must be doing it to multiple women. Which is
possible.
This isn't the type of guy that I want to date. I get that. Right. But I'm telling you from a man's perspective, if a woman approaches me with energy that's very direct, like super direct, there's no part of my brain that says
she's probably doing this to a bunch of guys.
And this isn't the type of girl I want to date.
Because of that. Here's the easiest reason. Men are conditioned to get. Women are conditioned to be gotten.
Yeah.
So it's way easier for a woman to be like, if this man's like this is his thing. Like, because we are naturally programmed to go get. Yeah. So to them, it's like, I don't like this style of how this guy go gets. Yeah. Because I know you are conditioned to go get. I just don't like the style that you do it. I know all you guys are go getters. Yeah. I don't like this particular style. I know that guy goes and gets girls too, but I prefer his style. Because you already know this is what we're gonna do. Yeah. Now you're just kind of choosing what type of style you prefer to be gotten. Like, it's not about whether or not we go get. We know we go get. Period. Yeah. I just don't like that style. Right. Yeah. For us, we know you women don't go get shit. Yo, and what's for us? It's like I don't give a fuck about the style because you don't have a style. What's crazy is one of my friends said to me. She was like. She kept referring to these girls as creatures. She's like, where are these creatures coming from that like approach man's like this? I don't get it, right? But then she understood like not to call him that, blah, blah, blah. But she was like, you know what it is? It's like, she said there's no shame at all towards these women. I actually like highly respect it.
but it's almost like I subscribe to these archaic views where I just want to be courted.
Right.
Which I get.
Which is fine.
Which is fine.
Right.
Absolutely fine.
But that's why it turns us on. Because the ones that don't, it's like, oh.
It's different. That's all it is.
Oh, you broke the mold.
it's just different.
It's almost like it's like
they don't even have to say anything along the lines of I'm down to fuck.
No, just approaching.
They can literally just say, I find you attractive.
Cool.
Now
I still know where we stand.
I know where we stand now.
And I still know I still know what that means.
What?
And I still know what that means.
Thank you.
I know what it means.
Thank you. Because
you don't have to tell me that.
Because this is the problem.
You don't have to tell me that.
Even when I approach a girl, you know what I'm saying to you. There's a part, doesn't matter how I feel about myself, how clean I'm feeling, any of that shit. Yes. When I approach a woman, there's a part of my brain that is thinking, does she even find me attractive?
Of course.
To warrant this behavior that I'm approaching her with. Because if she doesn't...
it's based on what you think of me.
Because if she doesn't find me attractive...
Doesn't matter what the fuck you say.
Not just looks, but if she doesn't like how I present myself, right. Demeanor. Like, if she doesn't find me attractive, then I'm starting at 0.
Negative.
Because
it... Bro.
Oh my God.
It doesn't actually matter what you're saying.
Yeah.
Think about this. There can be, like, as clear as I can make it. There can be a woman doesn't find attractive, says the very thing she wants to hear, but she doesn't care because she's not attracted to him. But then there can be a guy that a woman is attracted to already and gives her nothing, but he gets in.
Yeah.
Because it's not like, yes, the things that we say is important to them, but attraction will even get you through the door. Like, if a woman's not attracted to us, what we're saying doesn't actually matter. It's just double down if the man that you're attracted to also says the things that you want. He just wins now.
He just wins. Like,
but the man that you're attracted to doesn't actually have to say the things you really need to hear.
Yeah.
Because you're already open and receptive.
Yeah.
So, like, if you're not,
it's a weird thing. It's a weird thing, right? Because attractiveness is so subjective as well. We're
not even talking about physical only.
It might not.
It's you look at this man, hear, look, see, visualize, and you're like, I'm interested. Something
about him is attractive to me.
Yes,
right. And then that is the starter. That lets me know, okay,
you'll read the messages.
I know right now you find me attractive.
Right.
I'm looking at you. Okay, I find you attractive. What you telling me that you find me attractive or you want to hook up, that's not what takes away from whether or not I find you attractive or not. That doesn't do anything.
No.
For me. That doesn't make me
independent.
It's independent. From there, I'm like, okay, I know where you stand. Like, let's talk.
Let's go now. Now we can talk.
Let's talk. Let's see where this goes.
Now, I'm not guessing. Because there's a lot of guesswork.
I know for a fact there's still gonna be some women cheese with this. Like,
what do you cheese about? You guys make us guess. That's just what it is. You make men guess, and then you choose if you want to let them stop guessing or not.
It literally does not matter at all. It doesn't matter at all if so many of your female friends tell you, like, you're attractive. Like, you can get these girls, like, you're attractive, blah, blah. It doesn't matter if they tell me that.
I need the one I want to say that.
I need the one that I'm interested in to tell me that.
Right.
Because otherwise, I don't give a fuck.
Your perspective doesn't matter. I don't want you. I appreciate the compliment.
Thank you.
But I'm not trying to get you. So
I'm not trying to get you. Like, so it's irrelevant what you're saying.
It's nice, but it's irrelevant.
I appreciate it. It helps my confidence.
Right.
But it means nothing. Unless the woman...
It actually does nothing to your confidence if the one you want doesn't want you. It does nothing. It just does nothing. Well, my girlfriend's like me. Yeah, but the one you want doesn't. So
that's what it is.
So
it is what it is.
Like, to bottom line this, being forward, ladies, being honest, being forward, saying what you want, whatever,
in any way that you choose.
In any way. You can either say, yo, I seen you, I'm trying to fuck, and it's a whoa. You'll get a whoa. Okay.
Yeah.
Or it's, hey, I saw you, I think you're very attractive. You'll still get a, whoa, okay. But I promise you that conversation will be different. Because if you give the guy nothing, and just wait for him to approach you, we're guessing. Most of us are nervous, so they don't do it often. And it's like you can put this man out of his misery so easily.
Yeah.
Like at any point in this conversation, even while he's courting you, you can be like, I think you're attractive.
At any point.
At any point. But you still don't.
Yeah.
Like you'll still let him do this performance, knowing that you could easily just be like, I do find you attractive, by the way. But you'll just let him perform.
Yeah.
And then you'll smile to yourself. You'll like the little comment, smile to yourself, whatever. And then you'll choose when you want to let him know that it worked. You're going to choose. So now he left the conversation like, I don't know how the fuck that went, but it seemed okay.
Yeah.
She didn't really give me much. She said a bunch of thank yous, smiley faces. I don't know what the fuck those mean to me. I don't know if she always does that to everybody. You know, you girls respond the same way to many guys. So like, that's the easy way for us to be like, I don't know if it's a generic response or if it's an actual response to me. And then if we give you a compliment and you don't give a compliment back, not that you have to, but if you don't, it makes things very difficult to gauge.
Dog. And like, it's crazy on so many levels because the thing is, you know, I think the reason why a lot of women don't adopt this, you know, super direct approach is because, you know, society is like conditioned them to think this way. And as a result, some of them don't know how to like take that rejection.
Most don't.
You know, like, can I ask you something? Because this is something else I brought up with them. And it never gets talked about, right? Like, women genuinely have to be concerned about how it is that they tell a man no, that they're not interested in, especially if you're in public or like at a club or bar.
Of course, based on the reaction.
Because it's the reaction, right?
Yeah.
You'll have some dudes act like fucking psychos and it can lead to terrible things. So it's not diminishing that. But one thing I know that doesn't get talked about is, have you ever turned down a woman and then it turns into like an attack on your character? Has it ever happened, or have you heard stories of that? Because like, I've literally...
Like for turning them down?
Yes. Like I've seen situations. I've been told by friends, and it's happened to me, where like you turn down a girl that you're not into, and it almost like blows up in your face.
You know, yes, and you know why? Because the difference between men and women with rejection is that men don't ask why.
No. There's definitely men that ask why. No. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yes and no, but
definitely men that ask why.
Yes and no, but in most cases, when a woman is rejected from a man, she wants to know the reason. Like, needs to know the reason. Like, and men are so used to rejection, we can take a no and just be like, all right, like
some men. So, to be honest,
sure, some men.
But the reason I say this is because you and I run in circles of men who can take that no and just keep it pushing.
Right.
There's actually way more men out there than guys like us and our crew of people who they get rejected, and then it's like it turns into, after talking to a lot of my female friends, it turns into like
pestering,
like months long, years long of pestering. Like, why? It's like whatever. I didn't want you anyway, bitch. Or like it turns.
I get that attitude, but I'm saying like
when you say why from their perspective, it's like, okay, he told me no
because there's something wrong with me. Like that's how women take the rejection. In your
experience,
in my experience, sure.
Yeah.
When a woman gets rejected from a man or from me, it's taken as there must be something wrong with me. Then, like it almost comes off in the way it's like they expected this to work. So how can he turn me down? Like. Do you like? I get. You know what I'm saying? Like,
no,
it's like
I see what. Okay, I get what you're saying because
they don't go into it knowing that a rejection is possible. No, I know they know it, but when it happens, they're still like, oh.
I get what you're saying because like even though I think there's more men out there who are fucking like crazy about it, I get what you're saying in the sense that as a man, if I were to like slide into a girl's DMs or do any of that shit, I already know off rip, I'm like, there's a fucking 50% chance she's gonna say no.
Maybe even more.
Yeah, it's probably higher.
Yeah.
I'm like, there's an 80% chance she's gonna say no. Right. So for guys like us, I'm already at peace with that. There's a lot of other guys who aren't at peace with that.
Right.
So then they turn into these fucking sickos. And anger, right? Then with women, I think that for some women who do approach and get turned down, it's like, okay,
why?
Like why?
But that's exactly right. Like
I know what you mean. And so the thing is, the reason
not
why
that guys aren't asking why. I just the why is different. It's a different why.
Like the why from guys is like fucking. It turns into like this like weird, like obsessive thing. But with some women, when they say their why is personal. Like it's personal.
Yes.
Which is weird because I know someone will argue that the guys are taking it personally. It's like it's not the same.
No, their why is like, yo, like come on, like let me try. Like they just want a chance. A lot of men just want a chance,
and they won't. And the problem is they don't realize like how
out of the league they are.
How out of the league they are. Right. How like off-putting it really is,
and pressuring
it. Yeah. It really is. So
I just feel like the women's situations are more like he isn't like me. Like what?
So because the reason I said like you have to be careful because I've just been in situations and I've seen it where, you know, it's funny because women go through it all the time. They have to constantly think, I have to be careful how I turn this guy down. I actually have to give this guy my real number just so
because he's gonna check.
Just so because he's gonna check. Just so I can get him away from me. There's a reason why so many women have like all these unsaved numbers in their phone. Right?
They get the text and then ignore it.
Like I get that. We just don't ever talk about like why guys have to do it sometimes because there's definitely cases where like women will show like you don't want to hook up. Like what's wrong with you? Like are you gay or something? Like shit along those lines. It just never gets talked about. You know what I mean? So I thought that was interesting.
No, I've never experienced it that way where they attack me. Like why not? It's more just like it's tough for me to reject girls because I'm like, I don't want to tell you the real reason because I feel like that's going to sit with you. I never want to tell girls the real reason I'm saying no. Yeah. Whether it's you're fat, I don't like the acne, I don't like, I'm actually giving you real reasons. Like you're fat, you're acne, too short, you know, don't like how you dress. Like I don't want to tell you that. Like the things I'm like, I can't tell you that.
Can't tell you that.
Like it's just maybe it's just our compassion as men because women will tell men that you're too short. You're like easy. Sorry, nah. Like for us, I just feel like I can't tell you because you're too short. Like I can't. So I just have to nicely come up with something. I can't say that to you. Yeah, I'm just being honest. If you come and approach me at the club, and I'm like, oh sorry, it's kind of like, oh sorry. I'm like,
you're not wrong. Like
I can't tell you. Sorry, you're too short. Like I can't tell you that. Yeah, I can't say that to you. Yeah, like
it's a weird thing, and you know what? Like we're gonna revisit this conversation with a woman on the podcast because
let's park this for the live show too.
Yeah, because it's not a thing about like diminishing what women go through. No. It's different. There's like weird nuances to the whole thing. You know, we don't talk about the men's side of it. So yeah,
this is a good one to.
Yeah, we'll talk about this
right now for the show. Yeah, no, I think this is good. 99, Wayne Gretzky.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you guys. We won't get too sentimental yet. We'll say that for the show. But yeah, we'll do the poll this week to see. It most likely will be Zoom, but we'll still do a poll just to get people's feedback. See who's interested, to see the best time, maybe Friday or Saturday. Like I'll try and get a poll that's kind of detailed, so we can find out what's the best method and what's the best day and time. Yeah, and that way we'll have a gauge of like who will actually be there. And then we'll record it. and then we'll record an episode to review that live show if anyone was able that missed it. Yeah, and actually what we can try and do is what we actually try and do is we have the new Rodecaster Pro. We might be able to feed pieces of the live show into episode 100 and do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we can figure that out.
Into the actual
we should be
show if you want to quote something or something if someone says something in that show you want to quote it
just
mid show. We'll figure that out. But thank you guys. 99 episodes of life and learning and experiences and breakups and heartbreak and happiness and laughter and all that stuff in between, and just two black millennials talking that shit, man.
Yep.
Until next week or until the live show. It might be next week. Weekend. We'll see y'all. Peace.
Hello? We need to talk.
We need to talk.
We need to talk. We need to talk. We need to talk.